we are here, and it's the finals. I hope y'all are hyped.
And here we go.
Do you think he'll leave it on the board?
Handshake. Yes.
And he
let me,
presses the
hit the
clock.
button.
I love that.
Like a big boss.
He left it on the board.
And
All right, guys.
wait, something's off. Oh, there. Wait, huh?
Is
This
that-
is
not
the
the
different board.
Oh, that's a different board.
so-
That's, okay. Wait, that's not right. Okay, there
Right.
we go.
So we
there
have
we go.
Rosalimo on the board.
Rosalimo.
On the icons board, Levon Oranian takes white pieces against MVL in the first round. And this is quite sharp opening, very sharp start of a day. The other matchups are looking also very nice and quite sharp.
Board 6, of course, is the one that attracts everyone's attention the most, I suppose, because that position looks like it came from some kind of a Fisher random position. But it is still all very well-known theory, perhaps somewhat disappointingly to some of our viewers, because it dampens the excitement somewhat. But it's still a very crazy position, and if at some point one of the players comes with a new idea, so far they're blitzing. I think both of them are on about 17 minutes from 15 starting. This could get very, very interesting, and obviously the position is extremely sharp.
Is so dangerous when you're playing here with extra piece, but with a very weak king. You might be just a bit stressed. And oh, look at this one. White just decided to give up 2 rooks for the queen.
They are playing so
Jonas
fast.
clearly still knows what's going on. There's no way you can make all of these moves, barely dipping below 15 minutes without still having a pretty decent clue about what you want to achieve here.
So
Guys,
perhaps this is the end of his preparation.
This is
Yep.
the cup they're playing for.
Ooh.
And we have such a slow close-up to the cup.
Wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
Looks like a half of a PlayStation 5 there. That's fire, boy. I'll take that all day. You know what? Let me go.
So
This has been a supposedly quiet Italian. It's even called the gioco piano, standing for the quiet Italian. But that's not really very quiet. And
F6
this
was
line became, I think, recently, as they say, widely famous in very narrow circles, when Laurent Fressinet, I think, won a game in this line against Magnus Carlsen in one of the recent online tournaments. And whenever Magnus loses a game, and in particular whenever Magnus loses a game against one of his former seconds, this causes a little bit of a stir. So, but Yuengi decided to deviate and perhaps even improve on Magnus's play here. I'm pretty sure Magnus played knight f1 in that position instead of d3, d4. But d3, d4 is a very interesting, very ambitious try, just giving up that pawn for initiative and tempi. Knight
we
f1
see-
played. Now Yuengi provokes the move f7, f6. Took a very difficult decision to part with at least one pawn to solve some of her problems on the king side. But then Sarah can just very, I think, happily take that pawn in the center with the rook. Or the queen, I don't know which one is stronger. Both look very, very good to me. And I don't really see much in the way of compensation for that extra pawn in the center. Yeah,
She's
she goes
taking
with the rook capture.
by the rook, and now her idea is to push G pawn forward and attack the knight, and what's more important, to just kick this knight from this square, so then black's king will be open and white can give some checks.
Ooh, and if you move the rook, there's a little check over there.
A little checky check.
Little checky check.
Little check.
That's right.
Be
All right.
careful.
Do you think we'll
Black-
see G5 instead of capturing back?
That's
G5
actually a
is
very
nice.
good idea.
Definitely possible, but I think you can actually just take and not worry about anything. For instance,
Yeah, I don't think we
G5
need to be too
takes.
fancy. Yeah, just taking on d5 and going from there is
And
completely
here-
fine. Yeah.
Our king is
Oh.
way too exposed there in that
Killing our
position.
dreams.
So pawn takes, king steps aside, and the question is how black gonna react after g5.
G5 seems very strong, but I will also say that if we just develop, let's say, our final piece that is not really playing much role in the game, and if we put it on the c1 square in particular, taking full control of the one open file on the board, it's just very difficult to see where black counterplay is supposed to come from. Just looks like a bad position for Harika here.
And here we have a question in our poll. We asked to our viewers who will emerge victorious in this epic showdown on the icon board, and we guys can see that
Wow.
most of the people voted for Maxim Vashilegrov.
Man, that's whopping too as well.
Wow.
It's not even close. 66-33. They're like MVL's gonna wash him white, wash him. Here's what they're saying, but it looks like right now it may be the other way around.
I think it's time to conduct a new poll.
Refresh it.
I think if we give Levon 3 names, maybe the poll results.
Ah,
I think
might
it's just the attraction of the.
Some kind of algorithm.
And we see the engine awarding the move C4, C5 with a question mark. But I really like this decision because now it's incredibly difficult for Black to find any work for his pieces, while White can find all kinds of ways to improve and start, perhaps even attacking directly against the Black King. I think it's a very kind of logical human decision, and I was also looking at that while Lev was thinking about his choices. But perhaps there was something that was even harsher towards MVL's position. And there we have it on our screens, the position in Wei's game. An absolutely Martian landscape, which is extremely difficult to even describe. White is a pawn down. That probably should not matter. That game started as a semi-slav, which is supposedly a quiet opening, and then became anything but very, very soon. With White playing this very, very aggressive line, which I think is called the Shabalov variation. Or perhaps Shirov Shabalov variation. Yeah, I think they too made, I think, the biggest advances in theory here. And the position is incredibly sharp. At some point, the engines were giving White a significant advantage, but not anymore somehow. Somehow this position is supposedly around equal.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Equal what?
Wow.
is the
But
question.
using the word equal to describe this position feels extremely weird. Now will be a very exciting moment because a trade on d3 happened, and the back rook, which wasn't really in the game, is now attacking the white queen.
I just want to point it out, guys. If we just go a little bit back, all these moves are the best moves. We can
Wow.
see King f7, the best move here. Then we follow with King to e1, I think also its only move. It's also the best one. And then after knight d3, then bishop takes here, pawn takes. We have all these only moves and the best moves they are playing.
Still theory.
Still theory, right?
Is it still theory
It's
or
not.
is
No,
it
you
it's
don't-
definitely not.
I think
You don't
they're
know
this?
not
It's-
really
it's the
following their
Svidler
analysis anymore.
variation.
And this is why I wanted to continue analyzing, because you
Oh.
can get the bishop in front of the rook, not lose the queen that way, but then the other rook connects your queen. But we are going to be able to win the pawn on c7 here.
Guys, we have some updates on the board 3, and we have here
Whoa.
the situation where Vidit is really struggling on the board. Let's
Oh.
bring the third
Yeah.
board.
I think
please.
I think a handshake is already happened
Oh, we
actually.
saw it.
Oh.
And yeah, Wei continues where he left
Wow.
off by crushing everything in his path and winning this game against Vidit.
We can see sister of Vidit, very sad, very nervous on our camera. Look at her. This is such a hard moment. She came here to support her brother. She did a great job yesterday. This team won. Vidit was very happy. This is not the end yet. And meanwhile, it's just
comfortably
As you
winning.
said that.
Sindarov
Sindaro.
gets his team 4
On
points
board
with
6.
4 points, and at this moment, Upgrand Mumma Master just takes over Triveni with only 1 point ahead.
Yeah, Triveni needs to win somewhere, but they have some very good positions.
All right, another game has been done. Board 2 has ended in a draw, and now we
know.
have final 2 in progress. This game
Yeah,
is
we've
the
actually
most
run out of checks.
crucial.
King h3 stops all the checks. So,
Oh, and that's it.
yeah, and then the queen will be able to rejoin the defense. And
You
with the
have
queen,
no more checks.
With the queen joining in, you never have a perpetual here.
Look at them.
We're gonna see a resignation.
Pretty soon, yeah. And with Sarah pushing in an unlosable endgame, this clinches the first match for the Triveni Continental Kings. They will win by a score of
And
at least
handshake.
8.
Oh,
look
the
at
fist bump and
that!
excitement.
Levon showing
Wow.
so much emotions.
We're like, yo, we got
Look
it. First
at
win. We
this.
just
That
need one more. Now
smile,
we got to
very
draw.
nice.
Please
Happy.
draw.
Oh, look at
Wow.
this
Oh.
one. This is the emotions. you see from the teams who wins a very important game.
Whoa.
You guys, this is the final of Global Chess League. Sarah is still playing, I suppose.
Yeah, and with an extra pawn, we can see some awesome technique. I mean, the engine says it's completely drawn, but of course, I think black definitely needs to prove here that it is in
Right.
fact a draw.
Okay, the easiest way here to draw is to get your rook on the 6th rank.
What do we call
Always
this?
get your rook on the 6th rank.
What is this called, Ketty?
This is... I don't know the name.
It's either the
Come on, why you
either
ask me?
Okay,
What's
it's-
the name?
the Philidor or the
Philidor.
There we
Lucino,
go,
right?
the Philidor
Philidor,
position.
yeah.
Yes.
He knows the names,
Nice.
and he's like,
Okay.
That's
I don't know.
correct.
We're
The
just giving
Philidor
you
multiple
position.
choice
Okay,
here.
Can
hold
you
on.
explain this to us?
Yeah, I will. But for the
look at
moment,
that.
we need to see this.
Look
In the
at that.
players' lounge, Levon just entered, and he is greeted by everyone.
Oh.
Ah,
Look
let's
at this happy
go.
team.
Let's go. Ah.
This rook is a draw.
You actually can. You can just
Yeah,
take
take
it.
this rook and
100%.
then play king f7. You
Yep.
just need very, very small
Okay.
technique in
And
there.
it's captured.
And the
Sarah
capture
knows
happened.
that it's a win already for her team, so that's why she
got up out of
decided to end the game. Here we have a handshake, and we have the winner of the first match, and this is Triveni
Continental Kings! Wow! Came
That's
back from the
convincing.
dashes
Good
and the
games.
dip. Nobody
good
thought.
games. Look at the
at 'em.
spectators
I
wearing
think
the t-shirts.
a tough one here is that only match points count. Game points don't count at all. So if the match is tied, they don't look at game points. They go immediately into the Blitz portion.
In must-win situation, guys. No draw gonna help them. They have to win. And this is the last chance to win the trophy, the first Global Chess League trophy.
We are back with the second rapid game between the Triveni Continental Kings and the Upgrade Mumbai Masters. It's a
Triveni-
do-or-die situation. Tanya, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for chess right now, but that man on the screen, Levon Aronian, has been on fire. He takes down Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. He's been the icon slayer, and this is going to be a big board. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave with the white pieces. Peter said he's going to go for blood.
Yes, and he's opened his game with d4, and Maxime generally likes to play king pawn. Those two pawns in the center look so beautiful, and now the bishop wants to capture the black pawn which is there. So Levon instantly says, I'm not going to let you do that, and develops the knight hitting that central pawn.
So basically, if white takes this pawn, black is going to take this pawn.
Exactly.
But even after that, Levon is simply a pawn up. In chess, the first thing that you want to do after removing your pieces is to castle, and that's what he needs to do. Maybe make some space for the king to castle with moving the bishop.
Absolutely.
This is the board which scored the big point for the Upgrade Mumbai Masters in the only win for the Upgrade Mumbai Masters in match 1. And Jonas looking tense there because the position is absolute fire. Sindarov once again going hyper aggressive with his pawns on the king side, challenging the center, asking big questions. And now Jonas decides to trade that very important knight.
Yeah, I mean, look at that king, right, Tanya, in the center. I think right now, actually, Sindarov is the one who has the white pieces here.
Absolutely, Sagar. And both kings are in the center. Big questions as there is a face-off at the very center within these two important pawns. And because this position is so complicated, it's a good time to reach out to Master Swidler with his thoughts at the madness on the board.
Yeah, there's this is a very exciting position and hard to assess. At first I thought the black knight looking so beautiful in the center of the board must ensure that black is doing quite well. But I think in the battle of two uncastled kings, it's easier to imagine how white king becomes safe rather than the black king. So I started leaning towards Sindarov doing quite well here. But it's still a very messy position.
As Master Swidler just said, I think the biggest advantage right now that white has are her knights. Look at that, those knights for white, beautifully positioned there. No one can kick it away. And the other knight also on the other side of the board creating some threats.
At two different edges of the board, but creating their own play. And we also see that bishop on g2. That is
Wow.
one strong piece, really
Of course not
controlling
like
the
this.
long diagonal. Very often, the queen that we see can jump over to the king side on that h5 square. But watch out, there is one weakness in white's camp, and that is that d3 pawn currently under attack.
Wow.
Absolutely, but with the black king stuck in the center, I don't think we need to care about that pawn at all. I would go for an all-out attack of some sort. I like this move. I was looking at this move in
Wow,
particular,
F4,
just
breaking the
completely
center.
ignoring the black counterplay and saying I want to go for mate, because on the other hand, if Black manages to develop the bishop that is next to the king and castle king side, Black will not be doing so poorly. So you need to achieve something right this moment, and I think this move is played in exactly the right spirit by Harika.
It looks so dangerous. It's attacking the king. The knight is here. It's gonna give a discovery to the queen.
Yeah,
There are some tactics in the air here.
I like MVL's position.
But where is Levon?
Ooh, Levon is. I think-
Levon's chilling? What is going on? He is chilling. He's taking a look at the other boards. That is a sign of confidence right there. This is a rapid game. You got almost just about 12 minutes on the clock. And there you are, taking a look at your teammate. And we see Alexander Grishchuk there. He's not even looking at his table currently. But again, we see the players constantly do this. They are so keen to know what's happening on their teammates' board to take decisions. And Sameh, you were talking about the knights. This is a very unique formation where we've got 3 knights at the center of the board. A very thematic opening Slav outcome.
Yeah, I like what I like for white is that his pieces are more active. I mean, look at these two knights in the center of the game. This bishop is eyeing the king. But this bishop, on the other hand, is eyeing nowhere. So, which is why I think white is doing slightly better. However, Sagar,
Yeah.
this king is feeling pretty weak over here. I mean, look at this king so nicely in the castle. It's very, very difficult to penetrate that fortress. But here, I think anything can go wrong very easily.
I think surely the king is slightly exposed, but Tanya, I think you are a big expert at this opening, right?
I do play this opening with white, and I've loved playing this opening with white.
Her final move is this very quiet little short move by the queen. When her rook is hanging, her pawn on c4 is also hanging, but it creates this massive threat of bishop takes h6, attacking the g7 pawn because g7 pawn is pinned. And that just takes precedence over everything else in this position. This threat is unbelievably strong. And next, white could also come in with a knight to d6. Notice how the black pawn in the center is now a white pawn because it got captured. And the knight now has a very, very nice outpost on d6 for the future. This looks very natural. The only reason I think she might not do it is that there are other moves which are also looking quite attractive. You can go for a rook lift with rook f4, rook g4 perhaps. So there are definitely some other options which are available to her, but my mind is very drawn to this idea of just immediately putting the knight on the best square on the board and going from there.
We have a result. Board number 3 is done. And is it a draw? Yes, it is. Vidit Gujarati draws against Vei, which is actually a good result because Vei has been in scintillating form. Can we quickly look at the icon board? Because it seems like Levon Aronian might once again strike today.
What?
Yeah, he looks slightly better already with the black pieces.
That would be crazy if Lev takes 2 points on the icon board in this big match.
I'm getting really excited, guys. I think the Yuma Masters are slightly doing better in this entire game right now.
I'm getting excited as well as the clocks are running low. We are heading to decisive results. Sameh, they might be better, but you know, these formats are so difficult to predict. We've seen turnarounds in those very last seconds. And that's exactly what the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League is about. It's not over till it's over.
Javokhir Sindarov is completely winning against Jonas Bjerre, it seems. The last move, pawn capturing the pawn, is a big mistake if we can get the analysis board here.
Oh man, now this pawn is completely loose. You can take it with the rook.
Yeah, you can take the pawn with the rook.
And
he takes it.
And then
does
I
it.
think queen e3 is just winning, right? We can stop the black rook from giving a check from h6, and we're also creating a seemingly unstoppable threat of queen g5 check. At least that's my initial reaction.
And he's shaking, he is nodding his head. He knows he's calculated the lines. This is winning.
And now he'll
A
have
very
to
precise play.
He will have to hope his wife doesn't win on board 4, which is a bit of an awkward.
Handshakes, we've got results.
Oh.
Alexander Grishchuk takes a big point for the Upgrad Mumbai Masters.
Oh my God,
The
so let's
score
go.
is 4-3 now in the favor of Upgrad Mumbai Masters.
Let's
Should
go.
we quickly have
Let's
a look
go
at
to
it?
the icon board, guys.
No,
this
it's
is
a draw.
unbelievable.
It's a draw right now. Sorry, my
Why would
mistake.
it do
No,
this
they
to me?
drew,
And
they
so
drew,
we
they
catch
drew.
the final moments
Okay.
as the match does finish. A draw on that board. A big hold by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. It looked like he was in a little bit of trouble. And Levon, 1.5 out of 2 in this final.
Can we quickly have a look? If Harika has won, isn't the match over almost?
Yeah, we have only one
Sindarov
game
is
left.
also
No, two,
beating
two.
Jonas Bjerre once again. That game featured more twists and turnarounds than your average snake, but appears to be going in favor of the Upgrad Mumbai Masters. TCK continuing to struggle on the prodigy board, scoring 0 out of 2 today.
And here we see 15 seconds. He has to make a move. He reaches out for the rook. Is he going to give a check? And
Yes,
he does it.
Board number 4 is done right now. And I think that one ended in a draw, which means that the match is effectively over.
Wow, it means even if Black by some miracle won this game, they only get one win. It will not be enough. We've got a tiebreaker in our
Yeah.
hands. Blitz is coming up.
Guys, in this situation, shouldn't like Jonas just resign the game and conserve his energy for the Blitz instead of playing and fighting on this board?
I think he doesn't know right now because the last board just ended. But yeah, you're right, Samay. Maybe knowing that what he's defending is not going to give anything for his team because they've already lost the match, he can resign.
Yeah, I mean, just save energy because you have a very stressful match coming up.
But there's also a psychological element, right? Like if you resign, then you're like you've given up. While if you can save this position, then in the next Blitz game, you will be like, oh, I have done it. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think you can make an argument from both sides. In his particular spot, I think just sitting there staring at a position which is as bad as this probably is not a favorable thing to do. But if you had slightly more drawing chances, of course, I think you should play on.
Right, right.
The suffering is not going to continue for too long. White goes in with the rook. You can't now stop the pawn from queening. He has to give up more material to do the
gives
same.
up the knight.
And he's losing his knight there. But already the match is over. 9-3 is the score. Even if Black wins, it would be 9-7.
There we had GM Srinath, who's the
and
coach.
What do you think they're
Team.
discussing? A team strategy for the Blitz here.
Right, I think they are just... they have the black pieces in game 1, in match 1, right? So they have to go and play. Maybe he's just discussing some openings. What should you play? Should you go all out? Should you take risks?
What a nice atmosphere. So much stress in this image. Look at this. So much stress. And here we have finally some stretching also now.
Javokhir
By
Sindarov
Javokhir.
is such a fighter, right? He scored 2 out of 2 for his team in this finals. Beautiful play.
Just
Yeah.
amazing stuff
You
on
know,
the prodigy board.
I was reading somewhere that playing chess actually burns a lot of calories. Is it because of these dancing moves that Javokhir is doing?
I think it's more out of stress, Samay. You are so tensed, and I think in a team tournament, you lose even more weight, I think.
Yeah,
I
the one
wish-
team that's very stressed right now is the Triveni Continental Kings because they now have to do it all over again going into the best of 2 Blitz. Very often, this is the time that the teams are deciding what opening approach to do for the next game.
Yes.
Because in Blitz, if you can surprise your opponent early on, that's a big win.
True, and there's resignation. 12-3. What a dominating victory for the Upgrad Mumbai Masters.
Wow. And this is what everyone wanted. A Blitz tiebreak. 3+2.
Maxime adjusting the pieces, handshakes, the icons are ready to go.
I know Levon really has to strike from the front if he wants his team to win. Get with it. Meditating there before the game.
Wow, and Sagar, you can feel the pressure. With it, they're taking some deep breaths to calm himself down. This is the moment of truth.
I agree. And Sara Khadem also taking her seat against Harika Dronawali. Harika has played beautifully in this match.
Levon there with a smile. It's time to go. Handshakes, the clocks are on. Just a 2-second increment for every move. That's a queen's pawn opening. Levon repeats the opening from before, captures that central pawn.
And this time, Maxime playing a little bit more conservatively. He brings his pawn up 1 square, not 2, and he's got his pawn back.
This is such a blast from the past because there was a time definitely when Alexander Grishuk thought whoever played the knight off against him was sort of already dead. He felt White was winning from move 6 in that opening, and I think he very much welcomes an opportunity to play it once again from the White side in a game where they need a draw here, basically, the Upgrad Mumbai Masters, but any win helps them a great deal, and he will be, I think, very happy on his old hunting ground.
Wow.
Is now all set to win the 4th game as well. What a player he is for the Upgrad Mumbai Masters. He's clearly better.
And he's a beast in these time formats. I've seen him play rapid blitz chess online. He becomes fearless as the clock ticks low. And look at that, taking the advantage for the 3rd time in this match against Jonas
Oh, it's
Bjerre.
a huge blunder.
Trade, a big mistake because you give up a key piece. And that A-pawn, who's going to stop that A-pawn marching down the board?
Absolutely. Can Alexander Grishuk simply chop this pawn off? He does. He takes it.
He takes it. It's a free pawn on the board, but it puts the queen on the end. And look at that Vedika. She's not even playing right now, but she is
Shivering.
so tense. The pressure.
She's shivering. You can
Shivering and quivering there.
You can look at him. He has to win on demand, and he's so relaxed.
And right now we can see Vidit. He's not feeling the calmness at all, under a lot of pressure. And that last move gives up material to free up some of the tension. That's how bad his position was.
Right.
He wanted to get rid of that bishop.
But now it's just a matter of technique. I think Wei Yi is going to convert this. He already is an exchange up, and he will win this. And there you have the CEO of the Upgrad Mumba Masters shaking. Everyone's shaking. Everyone's moving.
This is what happens in time pressure, and right now Yu Yangi has that extra exchange, picks up one more pawn. Is this completely busted for Vidit?
He's completely winning, and we already have couple of results on the. We have MVL winning, which gives 3 points to Mumba Masters, but we have Yu Yangi winning, which gives 4 points to Triveni Continental Kings. So it's 4-3 right now, the score.
I think we're getting the shootout because I think TCK already have the 3 black queens they require. They're winning on board 2, or perhaps that game has already finished. Wei Yi is winning against Vidit, and Katerina Lagno is completely winning against Hampi.
And also Sindarov has already won his game against Pierre. So that means the score is 6-4 in the favor of Upgrad Mumba Masters.
Unbelievable. It all comes down to this one. And Yu Yangi here has given back that extra material, but still has 2 extra pawns.
He should win this. If he wins this, I think Triveni Continental Kings are taking this one. Tanya, I think so, yes?
If they win it. Sagar, that's a big if. He needs to convert this match.
But look at this. Right now, Katrina Lagno winning, Wei Yi winning. So that means that if both of them win, they will have 3 wins. And they would do it.
This is such a big moment right here, and Vidit hesitating, playing on seconds. Levon there walking out. Can his team strike back? But it's all about the team event right now. And handshakes.
What happened?
This game is over, and Yu Yangi has won this game.
Also, Wei Yi has won
his game against Vidit Gujarati. We have one more game remaining. Let's quickly switch over
5.
to board number 5. Harika against Sara Khadim, and this is going to end in a draw, and it ends in a draw at this instant. Handshakes. Sagar, this means?
That means Triveni Continental Kings have won.
They strike back?
Yes, because Katrina Lagno won, Wei Yi won, and Yu Yangi won. They have 3 wins, and we go into another. What a comeback by Triveni Continental Kings. Best. Let's go there. White for the Triveni Continental Kings, black for the Upgrad Mumba Masters. Samay, which board do you think will strike for whom? And there you have the first board. We begin with this. We have the Sicilian on the board. Let's bring the analysis board.
They're playing so fast, all from memory right now, because this is the opening, guys. I think we will see a bit of a pause right now.
Right, and Samay, it's the Sicilian Najdorf, which is MVL's favorite opening. He's played that.
Can you remove that mouse from the C7 square?
Very exciting piece sacrifice there by Jonas Bjerre, trying to recover from the 2 losses in the rapid. It's something that Sindarov clearly expected, and he believes he can defend here, but it looks very, very dangerous. You do have to play precisely from here for Jonas Bjerre, but it's about as promising as you can get this type of a sacrifice.
Right, and look at this, Samay. It's an eternal pin here. And the knight is also joining into the party.
And look at that bishop on b3 like a sniper.
Oh, what a piece. And the queen can come in.
Oh, man, this is going to be very, very dangerous to defend, man.
The only
Queen
thing
F3.
that is lacking in the white position here is the option of pushing f to f4, but I like this move very much. It also pins the knight on c6, so both of black's knights are pinned, and apparently it's a massive mistake, according to the engine. But I think it's played sort of in the correct spirit, and I find it hard to disagree with it.
And here it's a very tough matchup, and I guess it's a very important. Oh, look at Levon there. He makes his move so quickly. Takes.
Guys, with each move, the players get 2 seconds, but it takes at least 1 second to pick up the piece to hit the clock. So actually, they kind of get only 1.5 seconds.
Right. By the way, news coming in that Yu Yangi has won his game. So the score right now is 8-3 in the favor of Upgrad Mumba Masters. Upgrad Mumba Masters have won 2 games with black pieces. This is going in their favor. But let's see, what does Levon Aronian do? He is the big fighter. He's actually better, Samay. He's pawn up. and he might be the one who will score the point for his team.
And there, Vidit Gujarati is better for
Yes.
Upgrad Mumba Masters,
Yes.
and so is Koneru Hampi.
So it might be a complete clean sweep by the Upgrad Mumba Masters, and they'll do it with the black pieces, which is actually big news because white has been winning everywhere. What is the result on the fourth board?
But,
We have a
but
draw.
this match will be won by, I think, by Upgrade Mumba Masters because Vidit is winning their third game with the black pieces, and that is just enough. You cannot beat 3 victories with black, so we can call the first Blitz match for the Upgrade Mumba Masters.
Wow.
In spite of Levon Aronian actually doing so well on board number 1, the Upgrad Mumba Masters have struck gold on the remaining boards. In fact, board 1 and 2 both are going in Triveni Continental's favor. Look at Harika. She has won her game. By the way, board number 3 has ended. Vidit Gujarati has won, which means the Upgrad Mumba Masters have won this match. Even if Levon Aronian manages to win this, which looks unlikely now, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he wins this, but it won't be enough. The score would reach maximum 7 points for Triveni Continental Kings. What a dominating performance by the Upgrad Mumba Masters there. You know, Samay, boards 1 and 2 might go to Triveni Continental Kings. Wow, Levon Aronian shaking his head there, and the game ends in a draw, which means Upgrad Mumba Masters have taken this in a big way, Samay.
Oh my god, but we have one more match, Sagar, and I'm hoping that the Triveni Continental Kings win that one. And this is my prediction. I'm going to manifest it, you know.
It's time for sudden death at the Global Chess League.
And we are about to find out which board goes on to fight. It is
Board
board number 5, the
Harika.
women board.
Harika takes on Sara Khadem, and actually great news for the Upgrad Mumba Masters because they have dominated on this board.
And there we've got the board, Sagar,
Yes.
and Sara is jumping in with the knight. She's the first one to get the knight in. Harika doesn't stop, doesn't blink an eye, continues to develop the bishop onto an active spot. And here's a moment, do you capture that central pawn, giving
She
up
does.
that side pawn, and she does it, and Sara does also pick up that side pawn on the queen side. The queen there is a little vulnerable. Black's rook can slide one step, start attacking, picking up the pawn on the second rank.
I think the-
8. She makes a move with just 8 seconds on the clock, comes up with the king. There is activity. There's a mate in one set,
Oh
and if the
my
rook
God,
slides
there's a
up, this is game
checkmate.
over.
There's checkmate.
And black picks up a pawn, and
Oh,
now
you
it's
couldn't
equal
take-
material.
But could you not just take that bishop?
The rook would take the bishop, and the game ends in a draw.
Draw.
We have a draw.
Draw. Are we... What happened? Okay, we are going to have another sudden death. It's not so sudden anymore.
And there, Mr. Bharat Singh Chauhan showing the remaining 5 boards. Number 5 is out of those cards.
Yes.
If it's number 6, that's huge advantage for the Upgrad Mumba Masters. Shuffling going down there. Sagar, my heart is beating super fast right now.
I've never seen playing cards inside a tournament venue of chess.
And
But it's
we have a reveal. It's number 2.
Oh, good news for Triveni Continental Kings. Yu Yangi versus Alexander Grishchu. There we
And
go.
It is Cecil for the kill. Again, is it going to be a knight off? Are we going to see Black employ the most aggressive opening in chess? And he does it.
Oh, he plays the Sicilian Najdorf there.
And look at White's pawn structure. Look at Black's pawn structure. If anyone's better, it is Yu Yangi. White's king is in the open. Alexander Grishchuk has to be on the defense here.
But Tanya, he's given up a pawn and he's saying, I'll bring my rook over, then bring my queen and attack your king. Pawn is hanging. Is Yu Yangi going to be able to convert this? Look at his time.
Oh, he's repeating. Is he repeating? He's got 3 seconds. 7 seconds on the clock.
Checked there. And I think they've repeated twice. Yu Yangi bangs the table. He's like, I can't find
And
the
that's
win.
a repetition. He
Oh,
claims. He claims.
And they
And
have
that's
to
it.
do a draw.
It ends in a draw.
4 cards left.
4 cards left, and we see that they're showing us it's board number 3, board number 4, the first board, and the board number 6.
Right.
What a final this has been.
What
An
is it?
absolute dream final. It is board number 4 that goes on.
4. That means Humpy versus Katrina Lagno. She knows that she can do it for her team. Off we go.
Handshakes. Let's go. It starts with the King's Pawn opening and Humpy replying with the same. We could see a Spanish or an Italian. It is the Spanish. Are we going to see a Berlin with the knight developing forward? And it is a very non-standard move by Humpy in the opening. She played that barely on seconds, and you can see it with the speed. And Katrina Lano marching up the board. The king up the hill here.
The king which
Hamdi
was
could have
weak.
won the queen in one move just now, but I think they're playing on such a low time that Those calculations go out the window a little bit.
Yeah, and I think Katrina Lagno is now in the driver's seat because now look at her king. So active. Oh, but Humpy's attacking.
She's attacking, she's giving the checks, and you lose the bishop on the board. You don't have a way for the king to stay connected, and she just lost the bishop.
No, but the knight is
The knight is hanging as well.
I think this might end in a draw, Tanya. This might end in a draw.
really
Are you
might,
saying we're
yeah.
going to have another game? Oh my goodness. And we see it's a 3 versus 2. 3 pawns for black, 2 pawns for white here. But it is Katrina Lagno who's attacking black's king and the pawns in the position.
Let's have the analysis board here so that our viewers can actually follow the action. Oh,
And
they agreed
a draw
to a
for
draw!
it, and that's it. With checks being given, that is absolute madness. What a final, and disappointment there on Humpy. She was so close
she
to
was
taking this.
almost winning, and she knows it.
We are about to have one card that is pulled out. Shuffling of the cards. Which board will it be? And it's board number 6.
6, is it? Yes, the junior board, the prodigy board we have. It is Javokhir Sindarov.
And did you see that? Srinath is a happy man right now.
We can't handle it anymore.
Wow, what a moment this is for Jonas Bjerre. Can he save the day? Can he save the team? Handshakes. And we go.
E4. Oh, we have the Sicilian on the board, and we have the analysis board right from the start. We can have it on our screens, and we have the Najdorf on the board.
On the night of one of the most aggressive chess openings by black, and Sindarov takes a pause.
He brings the other rook in, and now Javokhir Sindarov is doing well. He needs to find this little check in the position, Tanya, and he finds it.
He
What
does
a
it.
move.
And there are tactics everywhere. If black captures and then white recaptures, black takes that pawn, there is a potential check on the board. And now we can see this position. If white gives a check, there's still the pawn advancing. It's not a skewer.
Ooh, but you know, now black is a pawn up, and I think what Sindarov essentially saying is that it's okay if I'm a pawn down, but I have the 2 bishops. But
Sagar, I still think it's too soon to call.
yeah, I mean, of course, there's still chances.
There's
as
a
white
check. There's a check.
Check pushing back. The knight is so beautifully placed, defending the pawn and not letting white push his own pawn.
To create a passer, white's dream is to create a passer, but that one black pawn clamps down the 2 pawns on the queen side. But Sindarov.
Knight before now. Oh no, knight rook takes a5. No.
And now Sindarov is going to play this out till the very end. He's not going to let Jonas get away easy with it, Sagar. Jonas will have to fight for this one.
Right, and there you have it, a repetition, and we are back. King moves up. Maybe right now there are no changes in the evaluation. It's
Jonas
still
holds
very
this.
equal.
And he steps in with the bishop. No repetition
Whoa!
there.
Jonas won!
Jonas Bjerre has done it. The Triveni Continental Kings are the champions of the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League.
That ended in a flash. He missed the mate in 1. He missed the mate in 1.
We have a winner, and it is Jonas Bjerre who gets the job done for his team. Checkmating Sindarov, a mate in 1. Celebrations there. An unbelievable finish.
No one can believe it. Jonas was under pressure. He was a pawn down, but he kept it going. And in that last moment, Sindarov got overconfident and missed the
Levon
mate.
can't believe it. Nobody can believe what happened. Jonas Bjerre, after losing 4 games to Sindarov, is the hero. He is the MVP. He's the one who gets the championship for the Triveni Continental Kings.